The plight of pensioners in Nigeria, especially ex-workers of the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Corporation, according to many, has become worrisome as senior citizens who once worked for the company are not well taken care of by the government.
For 26 years, we are in court, no justice.
It's more than 25 years since the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company forcefully retired about 1,200 workers. Records show that some of the workers who had served the company diligently between 10 to 25 years earn as little as 1,000 naira as monthly pension or nothing at all.
There must be justice. There must be justice.
From May 1991 up to today, some people have been receiving 1,000. In fact, today we are receiving 700.
Some 800.
Up to now, some people are still receiving that 800 as a pension.
As a general manager or assistant general manager in the Mint, I'm receiving 2,800 naira every month up till this moment.
My husband doesn't joke with his work.
Felicia Okafor, who is a widow to Thomas Okafor, tells me her husband served the company for more than 17 years and received a certificate in recognition of his long and active service. According to Felicia, her deceased husband, who worked in the currency department, was hardworking and was never found wanting, despite the several risks involved.
He came home one day crying, lamenting bitterly that many of them, they were given compulsory retirement, or some of them, they terminated their appointment. And I asked him what happened. He said, nothing, that they demanded for something, which some of them are taking their house allowance in a year. They are taking, and all of a sudden, those ones that are ahead of them, they happen to increase their own, and they demanded for increment in their own. Those ones say that they are living in Lekki and the Victoria Island, where houses are being leased. And my husband, their group, they happen to tell them that everybody knows the condition of Lagos. No one is living in the bush, that they should put something in their own allowances. As a result of that, some of them, they terminated their appointment. My husband, they gave him a compulsory retirement. You see? And that man was working tirelessly with the Mint. In fact, there was a day my husband come home. You see, one of his fingers almost cut off because of the engine they are using to work. Even some of his legs some of them are getting rotty because of the chemical they are using there. You see? When they give him the compulsory retirement, they didn't give him anything. I and my children, we started suffering since then. As a result of this man, he developed hypertension, which resulted to stroke, which he suffered for 3 years. And my children, we suffered. There is no way I did not take this man. Even the Mint hospital, they are not giving us any attention after the retirement. No attention in the clinic. When I got there, they would say we should go and meet the Mint. Even the pension. The pension, they started giving him 305 naira. There was a day they increased it to 700 naira before the man's death.
Here is the spot where Thomas Okafor was buried. Just like him, many of his other colleagues who work with the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company may die before they get justice.
20-something years, and they continue to give him 1,000 naira.
Akonji Mudashiru Bolanle is also one of the retirees of the company. He says he was on annual leave when he was forcefully retired in 1991 after putting in more than 22 years of service. He released a statement of account from First Bank which clearly shows he receives 1,088 naira 64 kobo as monthly pension.
Anybody are working as me in that time, we do it like our father job. Because you can't thief. What you want to take from means? Any one of us who is working at me in that time, we took it like our own company. And since that time, I was not have any queries or they will give me, say, okay, suspension. No, nothing like that. For my 22 plus year.
It is only myself, Aderibigbe.
Matthew Okolo, an ex-soldier who fought actively during the Civil War in 1969, was redeployed to the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company in 1978. He was subsequently affected by the retrenchment exercise that took place at the company.
The mints were to produce a ballot paper for the presidential election of 1979. I was in 4D headquarters here in the Ikeja cantonment. They needed soldiers to produce those ballot papers. I was one of the 12 people that were successful in the exam we took at 4D headquarters. Now, based on that, we were sent to Mint. I have a letter here to that effect. The letter they sent to my unit that they should release me and I should report to Mint. And that was around September 1978. Now the agreement then was that after 6 months, we will become a staff of Mint. We will be disengaged accordingly. Now we worked on their ballot paper within this period. Produced the ballot paper that brought Shagari into power in 1979. Now, fortunately, we were given a letter. The letter of my employment reads AA12. That is Army Attaché number 12. Well, we're 12 in number. Most of them are dead now. Most of them are gone.
Despite having spent 10 years in the army and 12 years at the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company, Matthew Okolo did not get any payoff, neither does he receive monthly pensions, having served the country and also risked it all during the Civil War in 1969. He wants his case to be addressed again, as many of his colleagues are now deceased.
I've gone through some very difficult period of my life, but I thank God that He kept me going. I've lost all my colleagues. So that's I'm talking to you. The only person I know is living now is Aderibigbe and Oladapo. I don't know of Abbas. I've lost contact with him for a very long time. Those are people that came with me. We are 12. Nearly all of them have gone. Ilobe, I went to this paper here now. I went to Army Pension Office in 2016. They said we should come and document ourselves maybe for pension. I did it. These are the documents here. Now, that to no avail. After all that, there's nothing. Army has not done anything. Nothing has come from the army. Nothing has come from it.
When I visited the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company, I learned that there is no corporate communications officer that could respond to TVC News inquiries, so I was directed to the reception by the gates, where I gathered that there is only a legal department, that my request for the company's side of this grim story was turned down.
As he went there, everything they asked him to do.
Felicia Okafor says she wants her husband's wish to be fulfilled. Despite the case being heard in several courtrooms in the country, including the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, there has been no breakthrough.
I don't know why they have hardened their hearts. Let God enter into them, let them help us. As you are looking at me now, if you see where I am living as you are seeing it now, even house rent I cannot pay. The landlord has been disturbing me every minute of the day. Now, if they happen to throw my load outside, now where will I park to? Well, I don't know how to do about this problem. Let God help us.
Matthew Okolo also hopes his prayers and those of other ex-Mint pensioners who exited the company between 1991 and 2005 will be heard.
The Nigerian system, the country is wicked to me. That's the way I look at it. It's wicked to me because I put on my life. We were many that left from my village. A lot of them died in that civil war. But for me to survive it and become living in penury is unfortunate.
For many of the Mint pensioners, receiving less than 10% of the national minimum wage as monthly pension, it has been a story of hardship, sickness, loss of loved ones, and many more. They want the Ministry of Finance, Central Bank of Nigeria, and the federal government to intervene promptly and put smiles on their faces before they all die.